The Atlanta Braves, the Phillies, the Padres, followed by the Brewers and the Giants are on the outside looking in. So the Braves holding down that top spot with the Mets right there. The NL East division second place team will probably be getting that top spot, followed by the Phillies and the Padres. My one up in the National League, and this could be a little surprising, is the San Diego Padres, who have not been very good. In fact, there's a producer on Flippin Bats. His name's Taylor. You guys might know him. He's a big Padres fan. And he is down on this team. And when I say down, I mean he is miserable walking in here talking some Padres baseball. But I'm going to be the beacon of hope here because we're just both beacons of hope.
Did I say beacon of light? Did I get it wrong? I said beacon of light. Hope. Who knows?
You'd be easier on yourself.
Words are hard today.
I believe in this Padres team. Now, let me explain. Things have not been pretty since the trade deadline where they were the clear winners, so we thought, of the trade deadline. They acquire at the buzzer Juan Soto, Josh Hader, Josh Bell, Brandon Drury. Well, Josh Hader was a little before the buzzer, but all of these names are big-time players, big-time acquisition. But Juan Soto is the name. This was one of the biggest trades of all time. And you just think, okay, are the Padres going to win the division? No. But is this team about to take off and take one of the top spots in the National League wildcard race? Yes. They've done the opposite. They have been the definition of mediocre since that trade. And yes, they've done some things well in that time. Since the Juan Soto trade, a guy that just gets on base more than ever. They've led baseball in walks, which great. I'm sure Taylor's not like, oh, great, we're leading in walks. Throw the parade now. No, but that's a good sign. All right. So this team is just far too talented to be playing 500 baseball. They will figure it out. I do believe that. They continue to win close games despite Josh Hader's struggles until the last couple of outings he's been better. But back into the bullpen has been a big issue for them. Despite that, the Padres continue to win close games. They're an MLB best 27-13 in one-run games this season. That's a good sign. Yu Darvish, been fantastic. Another win on Wednesday. His 13th win of the season. Since the All-Star break, Darvish is 5-3 with a 3.1 ERA, 68 strikeouts, and 12 walks. So Manny Machado has continued to do what he's been doing all year. You have to imagine Juan Soto is going to heat up and not just get on base via walks. He's going to rake coming down the stretch. Look, this is a big transition for him. Going from a team that it's all he's known in his career. He won a World Series there in Washington. Now this team this year wasn't playing for anything. They were awful. And all of a sudden it's, hey, you're one of the biggest trade pieces of all time. You're being traded to the Padres. You need to perform and go win. That's a lot of pressure. It just is. So I am up on the Padres because they are far too talented. I believe they will click and kick it into gear at the right time. In fact, they're about to start a series at home against the Dodgers. And if there were ever a good time to announce, hey, we are real, it's in that series. So we'll see what happens. My one up is the Padres.
We'll get back to the Padres in just a second because I'm going to start with my up.
All right.
Burn. All right, so my up is the Phillies. I feel like I am willing this up because the Phillies have not reached the postseason since 2011. That is the longest drought in the National League and the second longest in Major League Baseball. And right now, they are tied with the Padres for the second wild card spot, 4-game lead over the Brewers. I like to think they just got an extra little bit of energy getting Bryce Harper back, which is big, having a leader, having someone like that in the clubhouse, in the dugout. Now, since the All-Star break, their Major League rankings, they are first in team batting average, fourth in slugging, and fifth in on-base percentage. So they're looking strong. We all know about their September woes. Their September, October woes, especially the last 4 seasons. They seem like they're going to get to the postseason and then just something happens and they crash and burn. So I'm willing this into the opposite direction here. I think they're going to get there. They're also getting Zach Wheeler and Zach Eflin back, hopefully soon. They're right there on the horizon, which would be a huge thing for the team. Sosa's had some great energy. Harper's 4-1 at home since he came back late August. My up is the Phillies.
I like that. And mostly it's because I like to support you. So I had a different up.
Okay.
You had a different up, but I like yours. And I feel like you're not going to go in that direction as supporting me. So we'll see here in just a minute. Let's go to the down. My down, the team I am just out on and do not believe in the National League is the Milwaukee Brewers. And I could talk about them for an hour straight. I am so disappointed. I was so disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. And I was so disappointed at the trade deadline when they did nothing. In fact, they got a little bit worse. They had one of the best closers in baseball who wasn't closing. He wasn't doing great. They get rid of Josh Hader. Their weakness is their offense. They have great pitchers. Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta. Then the back into the bullpen, they had Josh Hader and Devin Williams. Their offense was a massive issue. You know what they did at the trade deadline? They got rid of their closer and they added no offense. They deserve to lose this division. At the time, they had a division lead of 3 or 4 games. They are now 9.5 games out of first place. And just about 2 months, they have gone from leading the division by 4 games to 9.5 games out of the division lead behind the Cardinals. They are a disappointment. They did this to themselves. I am down on them. I've been down on them since the trade deadline, and I'm just really frustrated because I wanted to see this team in the playoffs. I believed in them. I think they needed to go add another bat. They needed to add a couple bats to the trade deadline. They didn't do it. They got worse, and it is shown. It is an embarrassment what the Milwaukee Brewers did at the trade deadline and have done the second half of this season. They're far too talented for that. I am down on them.
All right, deep breath.
I got all fired up.
I know. You might get a little more fired up here because I am down on your up. Where do I even begin with the San Diego Padres? I had huge, high hopes for the Padres with a record-breaking, one of the biggest mid-season acquisitions, trades that I can remember happening. They were supposed to be great, right? They were supposed to compete with LA and the Dodgers and make a really strong run. Well, they are 15-16 over the last 31 games. And let me update you here on how their new guys start with Juan Soto, the big name there, right? Okay, he's in the middle of a 2-for-28 slump over his last 9 games. He left Wednesday's game in the 5th after getting hit by a fastball and hasn't really been able to put together a strong stretch since he showed up in San Diego. Let's move on to Josh Bell. He is hitting just 193 with the Padres when he was hitting 301 with the Nationals this season. Also not great.
Not great.
You mentioned Josh Hader.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you're going to hear it. Even after a scoreless appearance and save on Wednesday, he has a 15.62 ERA in 10 appearances with San Diego.
Uh-huh.
These were supposed to be the difference makers, and they are not sitting well. I'm not mad. I am disappointed. And you know what? They have the 3rd toughest remaining schedule in Major League Baseball, including 2 more series against the Dodgers. How do they do against the Dodgers? I don't know, 3-10 versus LA this season. Not looking good. They are hanging on to that 3rd wildcard spot.
So I'm excited. In just a minute, we have a great guest about to join us here to talk some more wildcard races. But before we do that, your one down is the Padres.
Yep.
Okay. They have a 4-game lead over the team looking up at them.
Yep.
So they are holding a playoff spot. My question to you, Alex, is does this mean you do not have the Padres making the playoffs?
I do believe they will make the playoffs. I am just down on them.
Okay, so
I am disappointed.
So many people are probably asking, how down are you really on them if you think they make the playoffs? And I'd be one of those people.
Okay,
but,
fine.
I am disappointed as well, by the way. But I see what you did. I went up because I believe in their future. You went down because you're disappointed in them. And
It's okay.
That's totally okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you love Flippin Bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.